Sorry, surfer dude, but you're headed for a wipeout.
Iron Man. I'm reading an incoming ship. Watch out! It's about to open fire! Whoa! Tony, are you all right?
Ow, ow, and more ow.
With these cosmic bricks, the world will be mine to rule. But first, I should probably prevent it from being destroyed.
This would have been much easier had you captured the board intact, rather than blasting it to pieces.
The Avengers showed up. They know how to ruin every good evil plan.
Your plan is still fantastic.
A poor choice of words, God of Mischief. I prefer to think of it as spectacular, maybe stupendous. I've hired every villain, bad guy, and dark minion I could find to help assemble Dr. Doom's Doom Ray of Doom.
Sort of a mouthful, but all right. Speaking of that...
Silence! Now we must track down more of these cosmic bricks to build my weapon.
As you command, oh most doomful one.
All right! I let these bigwigs go! Once you bring me some of those... cosmic bricks!
Why didn't they make me the supervisor here? That guy's got sand for brains.
Holding Grand Central hostage at rush hour? Now that's criminal. Hulk, you have to remember to look before you leap. I know, bad guys. The S.H.I.E.L.D. folks think we need to formulate a careful plan of attack using... Or we just smash our way in. Good plan.
LEGO Marvel Superhero Walkthrough. This is going to be the first level of LEGO Marvel Superheroes. Now, this game is available on most major consoles. That means PC, Xbox 360, PS3, probably 3DS, PS Vita, PSP, maybe not PSP, I don't know. It will be available on Xbox One and PS4 once they are released, and pretty much anything else. Probably the Wii U. I don't know about the Wii U, actually. So this is obviously a LEGO game in the Marvel universe, and you get to play as pretty much everybody that you could imagine. Any of the villains, any of the heroes, pretty much all of them are in this game. Now, during the campaign, or the story mode, you're only going to play primarily as the heroes, and you can play as the villains in free play or if you're in the overworld, and you do get to play as some of the villains a little bit in the story, but not really, so don't hold your breath for it. If you really want to play as Venom, then you'll be better off playing in free play, as I said before. So this first level starts you off playing as Iron Man and the Hulk, and the Hulk is one of the many big characters, and the big character is needed to do many things, such as battle other big characters like that other guy who has the car over his head in the background. I can't remember his name. You also need him to move items that need, or objects that need super strength, and just other things, you know, break walls, break big cracks on the wall. Iron Man is used to destroy silver objects. Later on, you can use his laser beam to destroy golden objects, and he can also fly around, which is actually very useful in some cases. But most of the time when you are a flying character, just because you can fly up to somewhere doesn't mean that you're going to finish the level quickly, because you're always going to have people who can't fly, and they are going to need help to get up to whatever spot that you can fly up to. But you know, that kind of thing I'll get more in detail in those puzzles once they actually start becoming puzzles. For now, it's just a matter of getting through the streets and battling this guy here through a couple of button presses. So you just tap X or whatever button shows up on the screen, and then you tap B over and over. You make him hit himself, and that will defeat him for this first stage.
I think I'll give you a hand! Or two!
So if you haven't noticed by now, this is also the demo level. If you played the demo, you will probably have no issues doing this whatsoever, but the demo wasn't released for very long before the game came out, so I'm gonna say that most people probably haven't played the demo. So what you need to do here is go toward the Sandman and use the Hulk to take out one of his arms, and then use Iron Man to destroy the shiny silver objects, and then use the Hulk to destroy the other sand arm. Most of this level isn't really too difficult. It does introduce you to multiple characters and also a couple of mechanics. Like this one right here, you need to destroy, I think, 20 something of these sand creatures. 24 of them before you can continue, and thankfully, at least for me, I think thankfully, they don't make you do this too often, but there are a couple of times in the game that it's a lot of fun fighting wave after wave of LEGO characters, and it would get pretty boring if they made you fight like 50 of them, because they're not really too tough, especially if you just sit there as Iron Man and you tap the X button and just shoot at them, then you can kill them pretty quickly. And there may be an achievement to get the ×10 multiplier from defeating 10 enemies in quick succession, and you also get a little bit of a stud bonus if you get that ×10 multiplier. So since I did talk about most of this in my demo video, and I think most of this level is self-explanatory, I'm gonna share my thoughts on this game, and I think as far as video games go, this is a pretty good game, but it's also a LEGO game, which means if you've played any other LEGO game and you've noticed any problems those other LEGO games have had, all of those problems still exist in this game, and it's probably because, you know, the developers, they just don't care enough to fix it, like to polish it that much. And you can't really blame them. I mean, they sell millions of copies, they get millions of dollars, they don't really need to do more work. But even that being said, it is a pretty well-made game. I did not run into any glitches in this game, thankfully. I ran into a bunch of glitches in LEGO Lord of the Rings, and many, many more glitches in the LEGO games before LEGO Lord of the Rings, and it all started about the time with LEGO Indiana Jones. But, you know, no glitches, so that's a plus. What are the other things I was gonna say? I felt that this game felt too cluttered and felt a little bit more claustrophobic than usual, and that's just because this game has tons of detail, and I think it's almost too much detail. Like, look on the screen, there's all this kind of stuff going on. There's all these sand bricks flying everywhere, and that's...
Wow. So much for taking the subway down to the Bugle. Guess I'll just have to fight my way through it.
Whoa!
Thanks for swinging by, Spider-Man.
You Avenger guys are really great at making a mess.
Hey! I just replaced that!
I had to quit talking for the cutscene. Anyway, all these particles, these physics type of Legos, and all these just everything that's flying around. That's pretty cool when it looks in effect, but just kind of playing with it and having to deal with it all the time, it's not really that great. I feel as if it's almost too much, and I kind of wish they had toned it down with a little bit. And especially once you get into the laboratory levels where you go into the different labs of, I don't know, the Fantastic Four or Tony Stark, there's so much stuff inside those labs, and it's really hard to focus on them, and it's just hard to pay attention. I mean, at least for me it was. Maybe it's different from person to person, but I almost felt like they put too much detail into this game. And in some cases that can even be annoying because you're walking around wondering, well, what the heck am I supposed to do next? And it's because you didn't destroy the one lamp or something that gave you the last piece to the thing you have to build. But still, for the most part, it is a well-made game. The story, while it's only about 6 or 7 hours long, so it's not a very long game, the story is original and it is pretty funny. The voice acting is really good, the graphics are as good as they get in a LEGO game. It sounds pretty good. The gameplay is still as glitchy as ever, and by that I just mean that you'll be jumping on top of things that you think you should be allowed to jump on, but you just slide off. Lots of times characters will be walking into one spot and getting killed by a hazard. Okay, I'm terribly sorry if you can hear the bulldozer that's outside. That guy just drove up and I'm in the middle of this video, so you're gonna have to live with the noise for now. Anyway, there will be a... Really, bulldozer? Really? It's gonna make that much noise? You know what? I'm keeping it. I'm not redoing this narration. So anyway, there will be a character that's walking constantly into one spot, getting killed by a hazard, and you're trying to switch to him to continue on in the level, but you have to go back half the stage to find the idiot who keeps wandering into death, basically. So that was pretty annoying, but other than that, there weren't too many glitches, nothing game-breaking, nothing that made me reset the game, and that was such a relief because I always fear that for LEGO games. And overall, I do definitely recommend this if you are a fan of LEGO, and if you're a fan of Marvel, or if you're just a fan of one and not the other, get it anyway. It's a pretty fun game, the story is fun. I have a video that shows all the cutscenes in the game, but honestly you're missing out probably 80% of the game if you just watch that video, because there's a lot of banter between the characters inside the levels, there's a lot of just random talk, there's just a lot of humor. I mean, it's great, it's a lot of fun. And the overworld, I haven't spent too much time in the city of New York inside this game, and I wasn't too impressed with the overworld in previous LEGO games. I felt they were a little bit too glitchy and a little bit too, I don't know what the word for it is, just a little bit too, like, reaching, almost as if they didn't need to be there. But it works pretty well, and you're never lost in this game. There's always a ghost that's following you, or that's leading you to the next level that you need to go. So that bulldozer is getting noisier and noisier, and I think the rest of this boss fight can be explained by the video itself, so I'm going to stop this narration. Thank you for watching, and hope to see you in my other videos.
I hate to hammer a point home, but you just won't take a hint!
Don't make me angry. You wouldn't like me when I'm angry.
I'll still beat you to the punch! I hate to hammer a point home, but you just won't take a hint!
Secure that cosmic brick, Coulson, and make sure it gets to the Fantastic Four's lab for analysis.
Yes, sir. Hulk, can you help with some of this debris?
You're calling them cosmic bricks?
They came from the Sky Surfer you encountered. I've given Reed Richards the job of finding out why everyone seems to want them. Thanks for your help, Spider-Man. There's always a place in this operation for a hero like you.
Like I have time for that. I've got a trigonometry exam tomorrow. My aunt needs me to pick up a dozen eggs, and I'm drowning in angst.
So, who's behind all this? What exactly are they up to? And will it cut into my hot tub time?
I don't know, I wish I knew, and yes. Tony, get back to Stark Tower and try to get me some answers.